So, let's talk about routine. Okay. So, I'm a firm believer in consistency. Okay. I think Cronovi said it best when he said that he said it back in 2016, the most consistent or the best player in the world will be the most consistent player in the world. It's not about how good your good days are, it's really about how much can we elevate your bad days to become closer to a good day. For me, there's very few bad days, bro. When it happens, it's obvious, okay, but it doesn't happen very often. That's why it's super obvious. But anyway, so firm believer in consistency, and we're not just talking about gameplay here. We're talking about a consistent schedule too, consistent uh training, practice, warm up, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and that's what I want to get into next. So a lot of people a lot of people here, I think you're in the stage of trying to, I'm going to say perfect like this because there is no such thing as perfection. Okay. Um, you're probably trying to figure out how to air roll more consistently, how to dribble more consistently. Now there is a few people I've talked to that said, "Oh, I figured out how to do all those things like really good, and so thus I stopped doing them." And then whenever I talk about, what is, in your opinion, really good, and let's say it's like a rings map and their time was, I don't know, 12 minutes, I thought that was really good. Then they said, oh, I perfected it. But the thing is, there's levels to it, right? So you think you perfected it, but you've perfected it maybe the best that a diamond player can do, or maybe the best that a champion player can do, or maybe the best that a GC player can do consistently. But that is not the best. You see what I'm getting at? So you gotta keep doing it. And we talk about working out in the gym. Um, like let's consider it like working out, right? So if you stop practicing or you stop working out because I've gotten too buff. I got too buff, bro. So I'm good. I don't need to. I'm just gonna coast. That'll make no sense, right? Coast. You know what happens over time is you get less bulky, right? Eventually you stop and eventually you stop seeing progress or you can't maintain the progress. And that's what I want to get into, maintaining. Okay. So there's two ways to look at this. There is getting better or perfecting it, if you will. And then once you've perfected it, you have to maintain it. You can't just, I've perfected it now. I'm going to stop doing those things. You got to maintain it. So I'm going to break down like what I do, like what I was doing whenever I was trying to go pro. Like what was the schedule like? Okay. And obviously this isn't for everyone, you know? I only did it for 2 months and then I burnt out super hard. Maybe for you, you could go longer, maybe you could go shorter. But it's really like the best way to get better consistently, in my opinion. So I'm going to literally show you like what I did for an hour, and I think this is a good idea. 45 minutes to an hour. Some of you may go a little less, maybe a little more. I think in terms of the what's the word? The um importance of it. The importance of it, if you only have 1 hour to play Rocket League, then it should be doing this. It shouldn't be playing ranked. It shouldn't be playing threes. It shouldn't be playing six mans. It shouldn't be playing in games. If you only got an hour, it should be this. And it's just about, again, I'm not gonna try to throw out names here. I'm just saying some people have come to me and said, "Hey, there's times where I don't play the game for days on end, or I don't have enough time to play like I was playing. Like maybe 1 week I'm playing good, 1 week I'm not playing at all. Like next week I'm playing good. Or I have a bunch of hours, no hours, bunch of hours. So it's like if you got a whole week where you don't play the game, you gotta maintain because this is one of those games where you take a break for a couple of days and you may not feel like the same player anymore. You know. So now let's talk about like what I do on an average day once my freaking controller kicks in. This is some glitch with Rocket League where my controller doesn't kick in. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So what I do for my hour, okay? And write it down if you got to. So the first 5 minutes, I hop into free play, and I'm not thinking about ball. I turn off ball cam. Forget about ball cam, bro. It's not about that. It's about driving around, getting your momentum up, you know, getting your hands warm, bro. It's about getting your car movement up, and it's about getting your hands warm. So I'm driving, I'm flipping around, I'm getting flips. I try to reverse myself and then get back around. You know, I'm just doing weird movement that I wouldn't normally do because it's just warming up my hands, and then that way something like this becomes a lot easier. Um, but so I'm just driving around. Maybe you're really working on this play right here, where you get off and you jump down. Like if you got to do that for 5 minutes, this play right there, then do that for 5 minutes. I think recovery is a super important part of the game. So that's what I do for 5 minutes. Okay, just keep driving around. You know, I'm not even touching ball. I don't care about ball, you know, at all because half of the game, half. Think about it like this. Okay, so let's talk about NBA players for a second, and then I'm gonna translate it into the Rocket League, but you'll understand. So it's like an NBA player. There's 10 people on the court, or let's say threes. There's 6 people on the field. That player more times than not will not have possession of the ball, meaning that his off-ball movement needs to be just as good as when he's on the ball, when he has the ball in his possession. So you really want to work on your car movement. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, yeah, obviously, like air rolling and stuff like that. No, no, no. I'm saying, like, bro, you got to be working on like power sliding and stuff too. So like, try to do a workout where you grab these boosts, and power slide a lot more for these boosts. Say I want that boost to my right, power slide to it, because what you're gonna find is someone's gonna overturn because they wanted that boost right here. So they'll go. You're gonna see, you know, oh, I want that boost. Oh, I overturned, or oh, I want that boost. Oh, I gotta go back for it. You know, it's those things that will, and then once you see the progress in that, you're gonna start realizing like, oh, someone's got the ball behind me and they're dribbling on me, like, oh, I can make a crazy turn as faster than normal and challenge that ball. Um, so that's what I do for 5 minutes. Then after that, I'm going in and it doesn't really matter which order you do this in. Personally, I think the rings is better, like to start. And if some of you don't have consoles, you know, hit me up. I'll explain it in a better way. That way you can do it on like your own maps. But I would pick out like any of these. So rings 2. I mean, this is pretty easy for most of you, I would imagine. But hey, it's something to change it up, right? Because you don't want to get too stale, or else you'll stop doing it. So mix it up a little bit. You know, giant rings map, rings 2, rings 3. You know, where's another one? Medieval rings, neon rings. You know, all these different rings maps because you got to switch it up a little bit. The path is a great one because the path has not only a dribble map in it. If you go straight, it turns into a dribble map. But if you don't, then it's a go into there. That's a rings map now too. Really cool. It's got both. So I would do a rings map for about 15 minutes. And you can actually put timers. A lot of these maps have timers. Look for them. And you can actually like stop right at 15 minutes. And like let's say you can't complete the whole map in 15 minutes. Stop right at 15 and then you can track your progress. Oh, I made it to level 23. Oh, I made it to level 25 in 15 minutes. And that way you're seeing like that progress that's a little different than a ranked logo, which can help you motivate you to keep doing it. Now what I do is, again, I'm at a point where like I can, in my own mind, perfect, because I don't have do I have the world record for these maps, like time-wise? No. So, I mean, there's still levels to improve. But, like, I would do about 15 minutes, and usually I divide it between 10 minutes, because it takes me about 10 minutes to do the Lethamyr Giant Rings map, or 10 minutes on one of these other ones, like the Medieval or the Neon. I guess I don't have the Neon here, but I usually have it on most of my accounts. I didn't see it. But anyway, 10 minutes on the Neon, and then 5 minutes or like 2 rounds on the rings 2 or rings 3. This one right here. Do about 2 of these because it takes me about 3 minutes to get them done. And then I'm done. So 15 minutes. So 5 minutes of the warming up. You can increase that, of course. You can go 10 minutes warming up. The hand movement and stuff like that. Then do 30 minutes of this. I mean, it's I just think this is the time percentage chunks. Or you go shorter. But then once you're done with the rings maps, then you're gonna want to do the dribble maps. And okay, here's a thing I heard. All right, I heard that um dribble to overhaul. They were like, yeah, I was crushing dribble to overhaul. Once I perfected or once I got really good at dribble to overhaul, then I was just like I just stopped doing dribble to overhaul and started doing like Lethamir's rings map. And it's like, okay, what's your idea of perfection? Oh, I think it was 10, sub 10, so like 10, 15, 10, 30. Bro, I can tell you right now, I'm going to do this thing in about 8.5 minutes. See what I'm saying? There's levels to it. And if you keep doing it, then you'll get to that point of consistency and it'll show up in your gameplay, bro. Um, but yeah, one of these dribble maps. I mean, this one, I guess the Eversax one, the Lethamir one, although I feel like those are less game situation plays. I could be wrong. I mean, just do them. I have personal bias. Even I can't even deny I have personal bias. Like, I would say if it helps you keep playing, then do all the dribble maps, bro. And just switch it up. But I'm fine just doing that every single day. I've gotten to a point where I feel pretty good about it. So like Lethamir's dribble training, dribble to overhaul, Eversax dribble training, this one right here. And do this for about 10, 15 minutes. I've gotten to a point where I get it done in about 8 minutes. And then maybe I'll go and do the path. The path dribble map is super fun, super engaging. And I think I get it done in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, I think. So, I mean, if I got to do both of these, then that's 30 minutes doing dribble, and that's cool. That's fine. I enjoy it. So, um, and then, so now we've got about, let's say 15, 15, and 5. That's 35 minutes. So now, I'm going to do about 10 to 20 minutes of literally putting that air control that I was working on in rings, and that ball control that I was working on dribbles, and I'm going to, do this. And now, I mean, honestly, this is for the higher level players, but I would just practice like the most mechanical plays you can do, bro. Practice some of the most mechanical plays, and then after your mechanical play, then drive and then get that dribble play on the other end. You see what I'm saying? So that way you're learning both, because there's too many people that all they do is this play, right? They go into free play and all they do is this play, and it's like, guess what's hurting? Everything else. Your dribble game, your car movement on the ground, your power shots, it's all like hurting because you're not using it. You're overusing one mechanic. So, I mean, whenever you go into to free play next, like now, it should be like a little bit of everything. You start with something like that. Once you're done with that, then you're probably gonna want to do like set it back down to the ground, get a dribble, maybe go for the cut dribbles like that. Because you're ultimately like you're just trying to refine the stuff you were just doing in training. Now, we're done. Okay, this is it. I mean, I know some people do training packs. I'm not a fan of training packs. Again, that might be personal bias. I don't know. I just don't know how many people in SSL do training packs anymore. I know a lot of them do workshop maps. I don't know how many of them do training packs. I could be wrong. They might be good. I don't know. I think I'd rather learn the core. Like, think of it as a tree. I think Sunless Khan explains it like this. Think of it as a tree. The trunk is the super core mechanic. So like how good you turn your car left, how good you turn your car right, how good you turn your car up and down, and then how good you can power slide. These are core mechanics, and then everything else like a double flip reset, a flip reset, a wave dash. It's all just branches of that tree, and they get like a lot easier to learn. So like I could learn how to double flip reset or triple flip reset faster than a diamond could just because my core mechanics are better. I personally have not actually given it enough time and like focused on that mechanic specifically. Because then I feel like there's that little bit of like, if I do it too much, I might lose some of my other stuff, and I like my other stuff. Anyway, that's why I just practice the core. And again, I tell you, just do this. Like if you got an hour, you only got an hour to play, do this one. Like do that. Because it's about just maintaining. A lot of your time is maintaining, and then you go out and you either get better or you maintain, and then you go out and you play ranked afterwards. Now, talking about ranked, okay. If you're trying to get better, if you're trying to get a better rank in twos, my personal suggestion, if you got 3 hours, I would do the training first, or the warm up first, the ones second. That way you're entirely warmed up after 2 hours. Like, because there's not only, warm up in training, but then there also is that warm up of like, oh, there's an opponent on the field. Now there's the defensive warm up that you got to do. And reading and positioning warm up, in your mind, it takes a couple games to figure it out, maybe. And then you're completely warmed up in two, and then your third hour should be twos once you're completely warmed up, and vice versa. So if ones is your game mode, then play warm up, then twos, then ones afterwards. And then if you want to finish it off with a warm up, although you don't have to, I would suggest that too. But I'm telling you, I mean, it's just like working out. And to be fair, I know nothing about working out. Okay, I just hear stories about how people describe working out, and it's like, yeah, it's the same thing. Like, you have a set time that you do things, and if you get off that schedule and you say like, oh, I don't need it, bro. I'm good. Then it's like you start losing it. You start losing the muscle mass, or you slowly start losing the fitness. So gotta keep at it. Really want to preference that because, I can't even say that I do it every day. Okay, I'm a hypocrite right now. But trust me, when I was doing it every single day for like 2 or 3 months, I was seeing the most improvement. I was. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. It was just about keeping myself focused enough to do it. So if you've got to do it every single other day, to start, and then it becomes every day, then do it. But just don't lose it. Don't lose doing this. Don't say, hey, I'm just gonna hop in a rank today, because what's gonna happen is maybe you do play great in rank that day. Maybe you play pretty good in rank the next day. But eventually, a couple of days, maybe a week or two down the line, you're gonna start playing like garbage. Okay, you're gonna start playing a little worse than your expectations, and you're gonna think to yourself, why is this happening? Why is this going on? Because you ain't practicing, bro. You ain't maintaining some of the things you gotta specifically work on. Anyway, I hope this didn't come across as too harsh. I'm an animated character sometimes. Anyway, I'm a freaking motivational speaker. All right, but that is routine for you guys. Okay, peace out.